And we're back with Roman, and we're in part 3, and this is where we're going to talk about music. So I'll just turn it over to Roman. Roman.
Okay, so music. So I know I don't want to speak too much technical, because I don't know if the people who's going to listen to this will know a lot about music, but the basics we need to understand is the notion of tuning. Everyone knows that we need to tune an instrument before playing it. So it could be a violin, it could be a guitar, it could be a piano, it could be a drum. Actually, when you play on a drum, the mesh of the drum has to be tuned to match with the rest of the frequency of the rest of the instrument. So when you play an instrument, so for example a guitar, most of the time what you use is a tuner, and this tuner is actually based on a frequency. And this frequency is very, very precise, because the international frequency of the A, so in French the La, is 440 Hertz. All right? So we all know that now that the sound is not just a two-dimensional symbol, it's actually a three-dimensional symbol. So let's have a look first to a few pictures. So this one, for example. All right, so okay, so this is showing exactly the symbol of the music, which is this one. As you can see, we can see it's representing a kind of vortex. A vortex based on curvature and straight line, kind of male and female energy again. Right, we can see here more precisely. So a curve, like a Fibonacci sequence, a vortex movement, and then a straight line. Okay, and we can see here the vortex. We also can see that even the way the music was written is actually a mix of round, straight line, and curvature. Okay, so yeah, I would like to give you a few more information about this symbol. This symbol is actually a perfect representation of a geometry called the vector equilibrium. So this has been discovered by a famous architect in the 70s, Buckminster Fuller, who basically found out that this was the perfect geometry of the perfect balance, actually, because every vector is actually counterbalanced by an opposite vector going in opposite direction. So as you can see here, we have the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you have the G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, C sharp, F sharp. Okay, and what is very interesting with this geometry is that if you replace the letters here by 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 equal 3, 2 and 4 equal 6, 4 and 8 equal 12, which is 3. Okay, 8 and 7 equal 15, which is 6. 7 and 5 equal 12, which is 3. And 5 and 1 equal 6, which is 6 here. So we have 6, 6, 6, and 3, 3, 3. All right? This is another symbol represent the music. Okay? And this is the two-dimensional symbol of the music. So why this symbol is so important? Because it actually shows us two elements. The first one is what we're going to call the compression, which is this curvature, which is the moment when the line actually becomes a curve before going back into a line. Okay? So this is the compression, and this is the expansion. Okay, the line is actually the expansion, the male energy. Theme energy, curve, line energy, straight line, expansion, compression, expansion, compression, expansion, compression, expansion. Okay? All right. Okay, now what I want to show you is this video. I'm not going to do it until the end because it's quite long, but this is called the thematic experience. So basically, we put a kind of plateau on speaker, and we're just going to increase the frequency. We're going to increase the frequency and see what's going on the salt that they put on it, like it could be salt or sand or any sugar, very small particle, and see what's going on when you put a vibration into a solid little piece of matter. I'll slow down the sound. Right. Enough.
Yep, definitely very interesting. And also very interesting is to see in homeopathics that the same principle applies. We're just putting a certain frequency through water, and water memorizes and has a memory and understands that frequency. And that's an electromagnetic resonance that goes into your body.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting to see how music is actually geometry, and how this geometry can actually generate a frequency, and this frequency is in vibration with us. Because as we saw a little bit before, everything which is following these vortex movements can actually absorb this energy which is circulating, and the sound is actually this vortex movement too. So now we're going to have a look to how this music is created. So when we use the numbers, like now you're quite familiar with this 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. So this is a doubling circus, as you can see. If you multiply by 2, so 1 times 2, 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 2, 8, 8 and 8, 16, 16, 16, 32, 32, 32, 64. So if you just double the numbers by itself, or maybe you don't see my screen now. Yeah.
No, I'm not seeing it. You're not sure.
All right, so don't be scared about the numbers. What is important is to look at those ones. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Okay, you see it now?
Yep.
Okay, and if you divide by 2, so we go in opposite direction. 0.5, 0.25, 0.125, 0.625, and so on. So remember 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. And here you have 1, 5, 7, 8, 4, 2, 1. And then 5, 7, 8, 4, 2, 1. Okay. So if C is actually the number 1, so the sequence 1, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. So the C can be the frequency 256, or it could be the 128, or the 512, or the 1024. All of those frequencies will always be C.
Again, harmonic resonance, yeah.
Harmonic resonance, exactly. Okay, so now what's happening if you multiply by 3 this sequence? So the whole sequence here, if you multiply this sequence by 3, you have exactly this sequence. So as you can see, 1 times 3, 3, 2 times 3, 6, 4 times 3, 12, 24, 48, 96, 192, and all that give actually the G, frequency of G.
Correct.
Okay, so you can have the G 192, the G 384, the G 768. They're all going to be a frequency based on G. Then if you multiply the G by 3, you obtain the D. So 3 give 9, 6 give 18, 12 give 36, 24 give 72, 48 give 144. Remember the 144, it was the 12 sequence of the Fibonacci number.
Yeah.
Remember, 144, which is 12 square. Okay. 288, 576, 1152, and so on. And if you finally multiply the D sequence by 3, you finally obtain the A. And you find the A432.
The A432, which is the tuning we should be using rather than the A440, that is the standard nowadays.
Exactly, and now you can understand why. You can understand that if you have the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, if you multiply this sequence, which is the base of life, by 3, then by 3, and then by 3, you finally find the 432.
Yep, and the 432 actually relates to the speed of light as well, if the 432 squared.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how much is 432, root square of 432. Yeah, I don't remember now. There's a connection, yeah, I don't remember which one it is, but yeah, the 432 is obviously a number quite mystical. If we continue, multiplying by 3, we find the E. Multiplying by 3, we find the B, then the F sharp, the C sharp, the G sharp, the D sharp, the A sharp, and then the F. Okay, so it's quite interesting to see that it's not following the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's actually do C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, and F.
Yep.
Okay, as you can see here, all the numbers here are all equal to 9 if you reduce them. If you take any number, for example, this one, try to find an easy one. So 7 and 1, 8, and 8, 8, 16, 16 and 2, 18, 1 and 8, 9. So all the number between the D and the F are equal to 9. The C is actually the doubling circus, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. So actually you have the 1 and the 8 equal 9, the 2 and the 7 equal 9, and the 4 and the 5 equal 9. So actually the 9 is still here, but you have to combine every two sequence. Okay? And here 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, so 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Okay, so it's a little bit different. The C and the G seems to have a different role, I would say, in the music. But all the other elements of the music have exactly this base 9. Okay, so that's quite interesting for musicians, because a lot of us know that the 432 has been changed to 440 by Joseph Goebbels, which was a Nazi. Joseph Goebbels wanted to extend this 440 to the rest of the world, but he didn't. Someone just blocked him to do that. And after that, after the Second World War, international elite forced the 440 to be the international music frequency, and they succeed. They succeed. So because of that today, every instrument are tuned on the 440, where actually normally they should be tuned on the 432.
Yeah, which means that we're disconnected from the field by our music. So our emotions, which are creative, emotions are creative, and they send creative impulses in the field, are based upon, when we listen to music, we generate emotions. That's what we do. We feel music, we hear it, and we feel it. And so we're interpreting 440 when we should be interpreting 432. So what we're creating with those emotions when we listen to music now is not in resonance with the field. It's out of resonance with the field.
Exactly. So if I was putting 440 based on the same rule, like divided by 3, divided by 3, divided by 3, multiply by 3, multiply by 3, multiply by 3, if I put 440 here, as you can see here, it becomes quite chaotic.
Yeah.
See, there's no more order. It becomes quite chaotic, especially on the C, G, and D.
Yeah, there's no symmetry anymore.
The other one becomes 6, 3. This one becomes 6, 3. And here we have 9. The numbers are, you still have quite of order based on that. But here it becomes quite chaotic. So what is interesting when you do that is that now we can compare the international scale to my scale, which is based on numbers. Because today the musical scale is not based on this mathematical sequence. Okay? So what do we have? If A equals 440, this is my sequence. Okay, and this is the international sequence that is universally accepted. So, for example, the B, for example, 495 Hertz. This is the one I found based on these numbers. We find in the international B the 493.88, which is actually 1.1 Hertz under the one I have, which is literally impossible to distinguish with a human ear. You can't make the difference between 495 and 493.88.
And if you can, I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, it's just impossible. The human ear can make the difference above 3 or 4 Hertz. You can't make the difference between under 4 Hertz difference. It's very, very, very hard.
Correct.
Okay, so as you can see, based on mathematics, we see that my mathematical system, when I put the 440, is very, 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 very close to the international one. Okay, which I don't know how they find it. I believe that they found it based on hearing. I think they use hearing to discover to use this sequence. I don't think it's mathematical because I can't see the logic. There's absolutely no logic in this sequence.
No.
Okay, if you take the C, so 521.4814 815, this is mine. And here you have 523.25. So it's actually 1.80 hertz above mine. Okay, so sometimes it's under, sometimes it's above. The C sharp, 454, 456 for mine. The D, 586.6, 587.3. So both of them are very, very close, but not equal, not entirely equal. 626, the D sharp is quite far, so 626.4, 622.25. You see 4 hertz difference. This one is quite big. I think the bigger is between the F, 698.46 and 604.
Yeah.
It's almost 6 hertz, and I spoke to a few musicians because I know a few of them, and all of them told me that the F is never really correct. That when they play F, the F is always a little bit busted, like the sound is not pure. And now it could make sense why the sound is not pure, because the real F, if they wanted to play on the 440 hertz, should be 704.795 if they wanted to have the perfect F. The E, for example, 660, 659.86 is very, very close to mine. Okay, the G, 782, 783, so 1 hertz. The G sharp is quite big, like 5 hertz difference.
Yeah, I always find the G sort of sounds out of tune on the guitar when you're tuning to 440 and you're tuning with the tuner. The G always sounds out. I always have to tweak the G to where it pleases my ear, where it makes sense. So
if you want to play on the 432, so if now I'm going back on the 432, right? So 432, you can't compare with the 440 because obviously they're going to be completely wrong, because the 432 is already 8 hertz underneath, so it doesn't mean anything.
Correct.
But if you want to know which frequency you should use to tune a guitar, here they are.
Yep. And so, just for the musicians among us who are thinking of playing in 432, most commercial tuners won't actually do it. There's a few cheap Chinese ones that you can buy on eBay that actually do it. And if you have an iPhone or an Android phone, you can actually download the G tuner for Android, which is the one that I use, and it tunes really well. And you can set it to 432, A432 basic frequency. So you use that as a tuner, just as a tidbit for the guitar players among us.
Exactly. And if you want to be really, really precise, you can just follow those frequency. Like for guitar, for example, the first E is 324. The A is 432, the D is 576, 768, 486, and 648. You just need to download the tuner. The app I'm using is I'm using a music app called the N-Track Tuner, which is free. N-Track Tuner, which is very, very good. So in App Store for the iPhone, N-Track Tuner, and you can put 432 hertz frequency, and they will tell you exactly when your guitar is on the right frequency, and you will see exactly those frequency underneath. They will tell you exactly which frequency is right.
Yeah, and you'll feel it's more natural because it's more natural harmonics. It's richer because there's more interrelationship. Like the table was showing before with the 440, it was quite chaotic. All the other harmonics didn't really relate to each other. When we get back to the 432, we see what we saw in Series 1 that we did in your Excel spreadsheet, that relationships, horizontal and vertical, between all those notes exists. So with the 432, you're getting a richer harmonic sound, more relationship in the sounds that you're generating.
Exactly. So here you have another representation with the numbers underneath. So you can see that all the sequence is based on 9 except the C. and the G. So 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, and 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5.
Again, which is another sequence that we were getting out of your spreadsheet in the first episode.
Yes, yes, yes. So in black you can see this is the music. Normally the music we use, the frequency that we use to play music. Okay, but you can use any kind of frequency above it or underneath. You will still have the right energy. And here, so as you can see here, you have the proportion. So I put the proportion here. So for example, the C sharp, C sharp. Here is 3 times 9 cube divided by 4 times 8 cube. Okay, this is how you can. So you see that there's the 3 here and the 2 underneath, and 8 and 9. The D is actually 9 divided by 8. So this is how you find the ratio, 9 divided by 8. So 1.125 is actually 9 divided by 8. Then the E, for example, 9 square divided by 8 square. So 27 divided by 64. And you have 1.265625. Okay? So if then you multiply by 2, multiply by 2, multiply by 2, you found the harmonic of E. Okay, it's interesting to see how mathematically everything is perfect, like the sound are perfect, like 3 times 5 exposure 5 divided by 4 times 8 exposure 5. This is the F.
Yep.
Okay, and then G is 3 divided by 2. G sharp is 9 exposure 4 divided by 8 exposure 4. And A is actually 3 times 9, which is 27, divided by 4 times 8, which is 32.
32,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, and give 1.6875. Multiply by 2, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. Okay, 216, which is a very Kabbalistic number, 216. And then 432.
Well, they've certainly tried everything to keep us disconnected from what we really are a part of.
Yeah, so on YouTube, you will find some DNA frequency, the low frequency of DNA and blah, blah, blah. Another guy called James Butoff, where is it? Butuff, Jamie Butoff, make a lot of video about the A432, and he using the A432 to heal people, actually.
Yeah.
Jamie Butoff, Butuff. He's using the A432 to heal people. And he explained us that this low frequency that you can find on YouTube is actually based on 528. And as you can see here, the 528 is nowhere.
Yep.
It's absolutely nowhere. So actually find out that maybe this guy is a kind of a part of a conspiracy group and try to bring something who claim to be healing people, which is actually not healing at all. Okay, what I'm showing you right now is something quite logical, and he explained a lot of numbers and frequency that we are quite get used to. Okay, and they're all equal to 9 everywhere.
Yep.
The 528 is actually equal to 6. So this frequency is normally not good, but yeah, here you also have 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, but you don't have the 528.
Yep.
And it's quite normal. It's just for the G, not for the rest. All right, so this is for the music. This is what I had to say for music. Something also quite important about numbers. So if you take a calculator, if you can see it, yeah. If you type 60 seconds times 60 minutes, okay, equal 360 times 100.
Yep,
360 times
3,600.
10. Yeah, 360 times 10. And if you multiply that by 12, right, 12 hours, you have 432 times 100. Okay, so 60 seconds times 60 minutes times 12 hours give 432 divided by 432 times 100. So 60 minutes times 60 seconds, so 3,600 times 24 hours. We actually have 86,400 seconds in one day. Okay, and if I divide this number by 432, we actually find exactly 200 unity of 432 seconds per day. So if 1 second was actually equal to 432 seconds, we would have 200 seconds per day instead of 86,400 seconds that we have today. Okay, it's quite interesting to see how even our life is based on those numbers. The 432 is actually explaining how many seconds do we have a day. We actually have 200 seconds based on 432 seconds, 432 actual seconds.
Yep, that's interesting. So again,
and 432 seconds is actually equal to 7 minutes and 20 seconds. 7.2 minutes. And 7.2 minutes is 7 plus 2 equal 9 again. 432 is equal 9. 7.2 minutes is equal 9. 7 plus 2. So we see that this number is not just a coincidence. This number is actually everywhere in creation. And we need now to understand why this expansion, compression, expansion, compression, expansion, compression is actually the base of the whole understanding of this universe. Because if the sound is not just a line, a curvature like this, but it's actually a vortex based on compression, decompression, which is expansion, compression, expansion, like a heart, a compression and an expansion, a compression and an expansion.
Or breathing.
Like any form of life. Breathing, compression, expansion. Living, like when you're born, you're a compression, then slowly you expand, and then slowly you compress until dying. Okay, compression, expansion. Expansion is normally this male energy, and that's why today I believe we live in a crazy world, because we live in a world of expansion. We don't see the contraction side of the world. This number 1, 4, and 7 energy, which is this expansion. The male energy is more symbolized by this penis, I would say. The penis is an expansion, where actually the female energy, which is symbolized by the vagina, is actually a compression, a contraction. Okay, when a male have an orgasm, he have an ejaculation, which is an expansion. When a female have So yeah, as we can see on this base numbers, 432 is actually a very, very important sequence. Yeah, I believe that today one of the reasons why we live in a so bad world like that is that because we live in this permanent expansion energy, where normally we should have a counterbalance of contraction. But yeah, maybe it's going to be a discussion of a next topic. So thanks very much for letting me share that with people.
Well, thank you very much for sharing it with us all, because it is all a gift, and it's all coming out it's all coming out into the open now. And I think humanity as a whole is starting to remember how things are supposed to be, and that's what we're all working for. Is we're all working together to get things to how they're supposed to be. Because, you know, if you look out at the world and you can't see that there's something wrong, then you're a fool and you need to wake up. So, yeah, we're all waking up together. So thank you very much, Roman.
So can you remind to the people, if they want to join us, where they can join us?
Yep. So you can send us an email for now at info@sacredvortexgeometry.com. and we're going to have the website up soon. There's just a placeholder page at the moment with the email address at www.sacredvortexgeometry.com. Just a placeholder there with an envelope you can click on to send us an email. And we're going to have the website up with a normal website front end and a forum back end where people can meet and discuss about these sort of things: Rodin calls, Vortex math, sacred geometry, Fibonacci. And we can start a wider dialogue and connect Roman up with many people who are thinking and experimenting along the same lines. And a few people have contacted me actually and said they are working on similar, or they were working on similar things, and they heard the radio interview and now they're starting to experiment again, which is good to see. So it's already had an effect, which is great. So we'll leave it there for now. And
I wanted to thank three people before the end. I wanted to thank first Marco Rodin, which is the one who discovered this language. I believe that there's a few mistakes in his theory, but I couldn't discover that without his help. I also wanted to thank Nassim Haramein. I really would love to have a discussion with him, but he's quite busy right now. So Nassim Haramein is one of the biggest genius of our time today, and he's making a huge job through his Resonnance project. So you can find it on YouTube and Facebook. The Resonnance project is doing some conference to help us to see how everything is connected and how the space is actually connecting us through the universe. And also wanted to thank Daniel Nunez and Erica Nunez, which actually bring this coil based on this Marco Rodin knowledge. And actually this coil, I'm really happy to share that this coil is actually generating more energy output that you have input. So this is the smaller version, this is the bigger version. And this coil, as you can see, is really based on this sacred geometry like this one. And Jamie Butterf today is using this coil and use a specific frequency to come in and generate a magnetic field around that can heal the people who are next to it. So the website of Daniel and Erica Nunez is onestop-energies.com. So one, stop, S-T-O-P, energies, I-E-S at the end, .com. If you want to buy it, you can directly go on the website. It's a very lovely couple and they do a great job. Thanks a lot to them.
Yeah, he's got a lot of videos on YouTube too that are really interesting about that.
Yeah, lots of video when you prove over unity, wireless transfer of energy, and a lot of things. Plant agriculture exponential, like the plant can grow faster when they're in contact with this coil and all that. So please have a look to this website and please have a look on Nassim Haramein. What he's doing is just insane. This guy just is making a big revolution in the physics and biology, and he recently has been fully accredited to share this knowledge. So this knowledge has been approved, and no one say it's crazy. A lot of people say we don't understand entirely what he means, but we can't say it's wrong. So this is a huge step for us.
Yep, we're certainly moving forward, that's for sure. So thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you for watching, and see you maybe for another topic about geometry next time.
Fantastic, we look forward to that.